What if today, this very day, could be the beginning of everything you've ever wanted? What if every morning was not just another tired repeat of yesterday, but a fresh, electrifying opportunity to step into your full potential? Most people live on autopilot. They wake up, check their phones, drag themselves through their day, and wonder why nothing ever changes. They feel drained before the day even begins, overwhelmed, stressed, half alive. But here's the truth. You were never meant to live life half awake. You were meant to rise and shine with purpose, with fire, and with the unstoppable energy to shape your life into something extraordinary. This book was born from a simple but life-changing idea. You don't have to wait for a perfect moment to feel powerful, motivated, and alive. You have the power, right now, to create the energy, the focus, and the success you crave every single day, even when life feels tough. And it starts with a decision to reclaim your mornings, your mindset, and ultimately, your life. Why motivation isn't a mystery, and why you can control it. We often talk about motivation like it's some rare lightning strike. We act as if it appears randomly, if we're lucky. But the truth is, motivation is not magic. Motivation is a habit, a muscle, a mindset. It can be trained, built, and strengthened just like anything else. I wrote this book to show you exactly how. You'll learn how to wake up energized, how to stay relentless through life's inevitable setbacks, and how to build the kind of inner fire that doesn't flicker out at the first sign of difficulty. You'll discover simple but powerful rituals, mindset shifts, and energy hacks used by the world's most motivated, resilient people. The ones who don't just survive tough days, but rise higher because of them. If you want a life of extraordinary success, you must first master ordinary days. What motivation really is and isn't. When people talk about motivation, they often imagine it as a sudden lightning bolt, a flash of energy that hits you unexpectedly, propelling you into action. We think we have to feel motivated before we can be motivated. We wait for the right mood, the right moment, the right miracle. But here's the truth. Motivation isn't a feeling. It's a decision. Real motivation doesn't come from external circumstances. It's not a perfect Instagram quote, a sunny day, or a cup of coffee that makes you unstoppable. It's a spark you create within yourself, regardless of the world around you. Motivation isn't about feeling good before you start. It's about starting first and allowing action to create momentum. If you've ever had a day when you didn't want to work out, didn't want to work on your dreams, but you showed up anyway and ended up feeling amazing afterward, you've already experienced this. Action leads to energy. Energy leads to motivation. And motivation leads to more action. Most people get stuck because they wait to feel ready. They assume powerful people must wake up every day overflowing with excitement and passion. But the reality is, the most successful people you admire rarely feel ready at the beginning. They simply act anyway. They've learned to ignite their own fire through discipline, purpose, and small daily wins. Motivation isn't about hype. It's about habits. It's about building a system that keeps you moving even on days when you don't feel like it. When you understand this, truly understand it, you stop being a prisoner of your emotions. You realize that you don't need to wait for motivation to find you. You are the source, the science behind inner power. You might be wondering, isn't some of this just personality? Aren't some people just naturally more motivated? There's a lot of misunderstanding around this, but research in psychology and neuroscience shows something fascinating. Inner power isn't about natural talent. It's about how you train your brain. Let's break it down. At the core of your daily decisions are a few key areas of your brain. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for planning, decision-making, and impulse control. The basal ganglia, where habits live. The autopilot part of your brain. The amygdala, your fear and emotion center. Every time you make a choice, to snooze your alarm or get up and move, to procrastinate or take action, you're strengthening neural pathways. You're literally rewiring your brain toward either empowerment or inertia. This is called neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to change and grow based on experience and repetition. The more you act in a motivated way, the more your brain expects you to keep acting that way. Motivation becomes your default, not your struggle. Scientists have even found that small wins, tiny, consistent acts of progress, cause a release of dopamine, the feel-good chemical that fuels motivation, focus, and learning. Each time you take action toward your goals, you create a positive feedback loop. Action, reward, more action, bigger reward. This is why tiny habits matter so much. You don't need to overhaul your entire life in one heroic burst. You need to start small, stay consistent, and let the science of momentum work in your favor. Inner power isn't a mystery. It's biology you can train. And you can start right now by choosing one action today that aligns with the person you want to become. Why your potential is greater than you think. Here's one of the most devastating lies we tell ourselves. I'm just not that kind of person. I don't have what it takes. I wasn't born motivated, disciplined, or strong. These are not truths. They are stories, and they are optional. In fact, science shows that the human brain and body are capable of far more than we usually allow ourselves to believe. Your current abilities are not fixed. They are flexible, expandable, and massively underutilized. Consider this. Studies show that most people operate at only 40% of their true capacity. Navy SEALs call this the 40% rule. When you feel completely maxed out, you still have 60% left in your physical and mental tank. Research into grit, Angela Duckworth's famous studies, found that perseverance is a better predictor of success than talent or IQ. Neuroscientists have proven that with intentional practice, the brain grows new connections at any age, meaning you are never too old, too late, or too stuck to change. You are stronger, smarter, and more capable than you feel. You have reservoirs of endurance, courage, and creativity inside you that you haven't even begun to tap into yet. The problem isn't that your potential is missing. The problem is that you haven't been taught how to access it yet. Imagine if you truly believed that every day, no matter how tough, no matter how tired you feel, you could tap into another layer of strength inside you. How differently would you show up? How much bolder would your actions be? How much faster would you grow, succeed, and rise? You are carrying far more power than you realize. It's time to stop underestimating yourself